Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Inner Harbor cast in the beautiful Inner Harbor studios in the Inner Harbor, of course, Syracuse, New York. My name's Skip Clark, joined by a couple of very special people. We're going to find out about Ducks Unlimited today. Very excited about this. I have Stacey Smith to my left, and to her left, of course, Steve Swift. And Stacey, both of you, Steve, good morning, and thank you for joining us here on the, well, it's the Inner Harbor cast, something new where we as a radio group, we're bringing out the best of Syracuse, and you're actively involved in the area, and let's get right to it. Ducks Unlimited, a 501c3 organization. Stacey, tell us a little bit about the history.
Well, Ducks Unlimited was started in 1937 after the Dust Bowl, when a group of hunters noticed the decimation that happened to the wetlands. And they noticed that we were losing ducks at record numbers. So they decided to get together with a philanthropist team and start Ducks Unlimited. And how we got our name was kind of a funny story, because they realized once they started a company and started a charity that anything that was incorporated in Canada would be called limited. So then they would be Ducks Limited. So they said, we need to fix that. And they named it Ducks Unlimited.
Unlimited.
So they started in January of 37, and then we were incorporated in Canada in 1937 in March. Since then, we've spread to New Zealand, Australia. We are in all 50 states, all 10 provinces of Canada, and we all the way down to Latin America. So
this is worldwide.
We're getting there.
Yeah, seriously.
One step at a time.
Wow, that's amazing. I know. I think before the lights and the cameras went on, I mentioned the fact that my dad was a member of Ducks Unlimited for a lot of years, many years ago. So, obviously you've been around quite a while. Steve, what is your part in all this?
So I'm the Syracuse chapter chair.
Oh, cool.
Chairperson, and I've been on the Syracuse chapter was the sixth oldest chapter in New York. Two have since closed. We're now the fourth oldest chapter in the state of New York, and it was started somewhere around 1984 or 5. I joined Syracuse Ducks Unlimited in 1988, and I've been here ever since.
It seems like it was just yesterday, but when you think about it, you're talking 88. That was how many years ago?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. We would normally it'd be like, oh, that was just a couple of years ago. But yeah. So yeah, my dad must have been the mid 80s then. He got involved with that. So we talk about Ducks Unlimited, immediately I think, and I think maybe some of our viewers and our listeners do as well. It's like, okay, you protect the ducks, you do all that, but that's not, yes, you do, but that's not exactly the case, because you have hunters, there's duck hunting, there's conservation stuff going on. Explain all that a little bit. I don't care, either one of you, Stacey or Steve.
I'll start with it and then I'll pass it off to Stacey. Ducks Unlimited is a conservation organization. Its primary mission is to preserve and restore wetlands. And wetlands are really important for a lot of reasons, including for wildfowl or waterfowl. And so, it's an important thing to do. Duck hunters and people that do that kind of stuff benefit from it, and they happen to be pretty avid supporters of Ducks Unlimited. But actually, oddly enough, in our chapter, about 50% of the people or more that attend our DU events don't hunt at all, don't own guns. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Its main focus is conservation.
And when you talk about conservation, how do you get that done? What are some of the goals, I guess?
So a lot of our conservation efforts go to restoring wetlands.
So,
and people don't realize that our swamps are actually a natural water filtration system. They also help protect against flood protection. They're home to 900 species. And something that grows in a lot of swamps that people write off are cattails. Cattails are a natural biotoxin filter, and are now protected and are marked endangered in New York State.
So one cannot just go and cut down the cattails.
You actually have to have a license in New York State to cut down cattails.
Okay, so we see them in the ditches alongside the roadways. I know if we drive by Montezuma, there's a swamp for you. And I'm always looking to see what I'll see there, like whether it's an eagle, whether it's a falcon, whether it's ducks, especially, or geese. I mean, it's just amazing what you see there. Well, that's all protected, though.
It's funny you should bring up Montezuma, because Ducks Unlimited has been involved with Montezuma Swamp since 1938.
Wow.
So a lot of people don't realize that Montezuma Swamp was actually drained to create the Erie Canal in the 1900s. We lost 900 species. So Ducks Unlimited is helping them to clean up and protect. And something that's important to note is Montezuma Swamp is not funded by taxpayer dollars. It's funded by the sale of duck stamps and organizations.
I did not know that.
Like Ducks Unlimited.
Sure.
So it's near and dear to our heart.
See, and I can see that already just the few minutes that I've been chatting with you both. So, I mean, do you work off donations? Do you get the grants? How does that work? I know you're a 501c3 organization, but how does that work?
So our organization locally runs events that raise money for DU. That's what we do. And they probably get some funding grants from other 501c3s, but a majority of it comes from events held around the country by chapters that are raising money for Ducks Unlimited. And it's amazing. I think Stacey can speak to the percentage of funds that come from various aspects of Ducks Unlimited's activity, but a majority comes out. We did over $38,000 in donations last year to DU.
Well, and all that, of course, because you are a 501c3, it's all tax deductible.
Yep.
If somebody wants to go online, you have a website, I would assume that they can jump online and maybe a donate button.
Yep.
And go that route.
We have a donate button, or if you'd like to reach out to us on Facebook through our Syracuse DU chapter, we would love you guys to get involved. And we have sponsorship packages available starting at $250.
Really, that's cool. I had no idea. See, this is new information to me, and maybe to a lot of our viewers and listeners as well.
Skip, we expect you to come to next year's dinner. I mean, you really love it. It's a great event.
Well, I would absolutely love to. If you need somebody to MC it, or
I was thinking.
Here, we have 4 wonderful radio stations in this building, and we have a lot of people that love to reach out and help the community. That's what we are about, and that's why we're bringing you into the Inner Harbor Cast, to make it known to those that may not know. That's what we do. So if I wanted to join Ducks Unlimited, can I just go online, fill out the app? Do I have to call somebody? How does that work?
So you could go online. You can go to Ducks Unlimited. You can go online and join. They'll let you join and donate anywhere. You can go to our Facebook page and you could join. You can call Stacey or me up, and we'll be happy to sign you up and get you going. Yeah,
I love it. All right, let's back it up a little bit. Now that I've joined, I've made the donation, and I will do that. But how does it benefit those that hunt?
Well, it's preserving the wetlands.
Okay.
So that's it. I mean, more ducks in the sky means you're having a better opportunity hunting. But more importantly than that, more ducks in the sky helps our environment. And so it's really an environmental thing. But the hunters benefit from it because we're preserving that wildlife.
How many members do you have?
I don't
Never
know
enough.
Nationally, I don't know nationally.
Okay.
Locally, we have probably over 100 members. Actually, it's close to 200 members.
And that's just our Syracuse chapter.
Yeah.
So that's not counting the North Shore chapter, the Skaneateles chapter. So you're looking at probably, I think I read somewhere over 100,000 in New York State.
Now you talk about the North Shore, that would be Oneida Lake, correct? I can see my mom and dad lived on Oneida Lake, and I think that's how my dad got involved because of that. So that probably was the North Shore organization.
They could have been in any number of chapters.
Yeah,
there are a lot of them.
But he loved it. I'll tell you that much. He loved it, and he's a proud hunter, and he's an outdoorsman, or was.
Well, you brought up the part of the hunting aspect.
Yes.
Hunters are a natural part of our ecosystem. And as long as they're consuming and using, then it becomes part of our ecosystem. And I don't know about you, but I do enjoy a good duck every once in a while.
Is that like instead of a turkey dinner, we have a duck dinner?
We've done all different types of duck over the years. We've had duck poutine served at our dinners over the years. We've had duck confit. We've had duck shish kebabs. So it's a natural part of the ecosystem. So the more wetlands we preserve, the more we help people that aren't hunters, that are, everybody drinks water. We're all on a campaign right now. It's the new year.
Yeah,
drink more water.
Give it another week. It might be a different story, but yeah.
But we have our wetlands to thank for that.
Yes.
And that's why I do what I do for DU. I am not a hunter, but 50% of our committee and 50% of the people that come to the Syracuse dinner are more in the conservation aspect.
I love that. It's like a circle of life.
It is.
When you think about it, you got your swamps, you got your wetlands, you got the ducks, everybody. It's a circle of life. That's what it's all about. fundraising. How do you and what do you do when it comes to fundraising here locally? Do you have some events coming up that you want to talk about?
Do you want to take this one,
No,
Steve?
go ahead, Stacey. We have 3 events.
Stacy's doing well.
We have 3 events coming up this year.
Okay.
Stacey's going to give you an overview of them and some dates and how to find out more about them.
Cool.
So our first date we have coming up is in about 6 weeks, and it's February 27th at the Home Team Pub, and we're doing bingo for boomsticks.
Bingo
So-
for boomsticks.
Yes. So it's a nickname for shotguns.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, but you did. Okay. All right.
I
I
had
got
to
it.
ask too. I'm like, what is a
Boomstick.
boomstick? I'm thinking like a vacuum cleaner, sweeper type.
That
But
works.
Yeah.
doesn't it? That's something I could get behind.
That's
Blow
cool.
those dust bunnies away.
I know exactly. We all have them.
But we're going to do that, and it's $20 to come out, and it's 10 rounds of bingo, and each round has its own bingo prize. Everything from a overnight stay in a hotel
Oh, wow.
to gift baskets to local businesses, and we're happy that we're working with a lot of local businesses this year.
Mhm.
And then on, let me make sure I get the date right here, June 6th at the
Okay.
Craftsman Inn over in Fayetteville.
Fayetteville. Yep.
We're doing a Cigars Under the Stars event, and this is a brand new event. Are you a cigar smoker?
I
Skip?
am not, but I know a lot of people that love it, and I get it. Tell us, what is that about? I mean,
So it's a premium night out. It includes 3 hours open bar, and then we are featuring what is called a charcuterie board because everybody's on the charcuterie.
that's the big thing right now. I'm seeing it on, I know our producer Carol over there watches QVC, and I see them on there a lot. She talks about it. I see it various talk shows, and somebody's showing off their board. I can't say the word, so I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
So we have worked with Sean over there at the Craftsman, and
Yes.
he's been wonderful.
Mhm.
And they are customizing a menu that has all meats, cheeses, chicken wings, and tableside fire roasted bacon, different flavors of bacon. So it's a fun night to come
Wow.
out and enjoy. It comes with a cigar, it comes with your open bar, and includes all your food. And then we've got little prizes and favors. And then we have an ATF raffle where we're raffling off a shotgun, a box of cigars, and a bottle of whiskey.
Wow.
And then to wrap up our season, we are hosting a event at the Rosamond Gifford Zoo.
Oh, very nice.
About 10 years ago, we helped the Rosamond Gifford Zoo when they were putting in their new duck pond.
Mhm,
So we
mhm.
worked with them
Yeah.
to help fundraise, and we raised, I think it was $18,000
Yeah.
for that project right here
Wow.
in Syracuse.
Had no idea.
And so we're happy this year. This will be our first year returning to the zoo and hosting our dinner this
Mhm.
September 19th. So we've got raffles and silent auction, live auction. We've
Oh my
got all
gosh.
kinds of fun games. But we're happy to work with them because 70% of the money that we spend on our dinner will go to conservation here at the zoo.
So you're doing a good thing for the community. You're doing a good thing for whether it's the wetlands or the community in general, all the way around. Ducks Unlimited is really taking the lead in that. If somebody wanted to get information on all these events, I would assume they can just go to your social media, or they could go to your website.
Yep.
Per se.
Yeah. And you can find it on the DU national site too. You can
Mhm,
click
mhm.
down through and
So if somebody just Googles Ducks Unlimited, you're going to get the various.
Mhm.
It's ducks.org.
Okay.
And it'll take
Ducks.org.
you right to the page. Then you click on events, go to New York, and all of them will come right
They
up.
pop up.
Not just ours, but everybody in the region as
Yeah.
well.
Now, Stacy, do you put all these events together?
Yes,
Or
and no.
is it it's an effort? I know we got Steve over there,
it's
but
a team. We
you
have
know,
about 26 committee members.
Okay.
That all do various aspects of things. Stacey has really stepped up in the side of, working side of the fence. And,
that's all right.
and so it's been really helpful to have Stacey involved.
Mhm, mhm.
And we're stepping it up. It's in a volunteer organization like ours. It comes and goes. Your committees get strong, then people get old.
Yeah,
tired,
people.
leave,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
get some
yeah.
new people.
Yeah.
And so I've been actively involved in trying to continue to grow the committee just to get people excited.
Do you
about it.
volunteer, Steve, or are you actually paid to do
I'm
Ducks Unlimited?
paid by
Okay.
a 6-pack of beer that I buy. from
I
the
do it for that
committee.
too.
Yeah.
And what do you? So you're on board. You're doing a good thing. What do you do?
So we get together as a committee and plan events. And
Okay.
Stacey's been very involved. She actually was key in taking it to the zoo this year, which we're excited about. And so it's just different people do different things. We find venues, we set dates, we find out what other committees are doing what on what dates so that we don't collide and have two events going on at the same time, because people will go to more than one event.
Okay. Now, Ducks Unlimited is one aspect of your life, but what do you do for a living?
I own an investment management firm.
Okay, go ahead. You can give them a shout out if you like.
Guys, it's Blue Water Capital Management.
I've seen the signs.
And
nice.
So we're busy doing that. And my cousin got me into this in 1988, who brought me into the financial services business, Bruce Bachman. And he said, you should join something just to network and see people and do stuff. And lo and behold, Ducks Unlimited was what I started.
Nice.
And I've been there ever since.
God bless you, man. That's awesome. Yep. That's awesome. And of course, Stacey Smith, what is your actual position within Ducks Unlimited?
I'm just a volunteer.
Really?
That's
just a volunteer?
Yep. Yeah. I volunteer. I have skills in marketing
Okay.
background. So I've taken those skills to DU to help with events
Very
like
nice.
this, to promote the charity. And mostly I solicit donations for the charity. So whatever they need, I help with. I see a need, I fill a need.
So like the same question that I asked Steve, what is it that you're into marketing, but do you work for a company?
I do not.
You're
actually
doing it?
retired. So
excuse me. We need to have this conversation. I don't know. Producer
Steve's
Carol over
my
there is smiling.
Guy, so yeah.
There you go. And all that works. But you know what? You're doing a good thing for the community. And with Ducks Unlimited, like you said, so many people, I think, whether viewers or listeners, they hear about it. And I know we have somebody here in the office that her daughter is a big duck hunter and very active with Ducks Unlimited, very excited. When they heard you were coming in, it's like, as a matter of fact, I think she wore her Ducks Unlimited. I didn't see her. Did she? Yep. Yes. Okay. So she was so excited that you guys were coming in to talk about Ducks Unlimited. And if somebody wanted to get involved, they can just go to the website, get all the information, all the events, and all that good stuff. Anything else you'd like to add about Ducks Unlimited? Let's talk. Let's talk. This is so good.
Wants to get involved, on our Facebook page, my phone number and contact.
Everything's there.
Call me up. I'd love to have a chat with
Be
you.
careful.
Yeah, I know. That's part that comes with the
It may
job.
not be an investment, if you know what I mean.
It might cost them a 6-pack of beer, but that's pretty cheap. But, and so we're always looking for people to join and help in any way they can. It's not like we have an assigned position and that's it.
I know, and I know we covered this, but you don't have to be a hunter. You don't have to be. You can just be yourself. I'm sure everybody has something they probably could contribute with.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't matter what you do. I mean, I'm a radio guy, but still, I'd love to come out and do my part.
Well, you're contributing right now by having us here, so and being online and presenting. So I mean, it's really important, and that kind of exposure really resonates around the community.
That's awesome, Stacey.
And I think that the first step is, if somebody's really interested in joining Ducks Unlimited or seeing what we're all about, is come out to bingo. It's only $20. We buy you a drink for showing up. You get to play bingo with everybody. It's a casual event, so you get to enjoy. You get to actually talk with us. It's a great time. If we can get our MC back from last year, it was a riot.
Cool.
So it's a easy way to dip your toe in the water. And then if you decide you want a membership, we'll have memberships available there. And I think they're $30 a year.
That's nothing nowadays.
$35 a year.
That's nothing.
It's higher levels if you want to join.
Okay, all right.
We definitely can do that.
But for $35, you get a magazine quarterly with all the good works that
I was going to ask you
doing.
what you get for the membership. So,
and there's usually stickers or address labels or something involved. But the magazines are great because it updates you on exactly what we're doing, where we're doing it, how we're doing it. And I think that it's important too, that we haven't touched on, is only 3% of the money raised by Ducks Unlimited goes to administration fees.
Well, that's very little.
Yeah.
That's hardly anything.
It's one of the most efficient nonprofits out there.
And we're one of the largest ecological charities in the country. Wow. So, and most of our money only goes to the wetlands. 13% they do put into advertising and helping us with our events, like raffle tickets and membership tickets and, paperwork stuff, which is inevitable. But over 85% goes to our wetlands.
Wow. Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing what you do. You mentioned levels. Are there different levels of membership?
Well, sure. So a sponsor, a normal sponsor is $250. You get the membership, you get the magazine, you get a few other things.
Could that
And
be
then
individual or business
individual businesses can
Okay.
anyone can sponsor.
Okay. All
We
right.
have lifetime sponsorships. They cost you $10,000 for lifetime. And then we have even higher levels because, you know, people
Mhm.
want to give and participate.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yep.
Depending on what you can afford, and
Yep.
from the
And it
littlest
changes.
to
I've been
getting
in there
right
for
in.
a gazillion years, and you know, I give a little more than I used
A
to.
gazillion. How many is a gazillion? No, I know. That's awesome. You're doing a great job. This is just a great way of getting to know what you do, and getting to know both of you a little bit. So that's cool. Is there anything else you'd like to add as we go along here, Stacey Smith?
I think we've
Yeah.
crossed all our T's and dotted all our I's.
Yeah.
And Steve Swift?
I'll throw in one other thing.
Yes,
because
please.
I've been reading this book and it's been really interesting. It's called The Death and Life of the Great Lakes. And it's about the Great Lake water system, which is the largest freshwater system in the world, and the effects of shipping, the making of the Erie Canal and Barge Canal and those things. And Stacey referenced that
Mhm.
with respect to Montezuma. A lot of crazy things took place and have taken place. I think as the country continues on, we're getting a better handle on that. But it's really interesting read if you're into it, and resonated with me and it talked about Montezuma and
Mhm,
the Erie
mhm.
Canal. Erie Canal did a lot of crazy things to get ships
Yeah, no,
in there. So
I grew up in Camillus, and the canal went right through there. So.
yeah. But it's a great read if you're ever interested.
Yeah, no, very much so. It's very interesting. I want to thank you both for coming by and being on the Inner Harbor cast as we get the word out about Ducks Unlimited. Of course, Stacey Smith, Steve Swift. I don't even have to look at my notes for that because you got the easiest names to remember, which is, but
thanks for having us.
Yes,
I
we really
definitely
appreciate
appreciate
it.
you. One more time, they can go to the website or they can go to your socials, get more info. You look up the events, become a member, all different levels.
Yep.
Just great information, just stuff I don't think anybody really knows about.
We probably haven't done a good job of broadly
We're going to change that.
broadcasting and presenting ourselves. And so, yeah, this is exciting.
This is the first step to changing all that for you.
Yep.
So we appreciate you being here on the Inner Harbor cast in the beautiful Inner Harbor Media Studios at the beautiful Syracuse Inner Harbor. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you. See you later.